guys.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Blessings to you all.
Hey, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. As we're about to get started, come on in. We have a lot for you tonight. Good night, everybody. It's good to see you guys as you are coming in. Just go ahead and share. Share the live. Hit thumbs up. You know what to do.
Yes, yes,
We're
yes.
excited. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, welcome. Come on in. Say good night. How are you? Yes, we have so much to share tonight.
Amen to that. Amen.
Amen to that.
Amen.
All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the channel. Hold on,
Man.
hold on. Hold up a little bit. All right, let's run that again. Welcome, everybody. This is the channel when two become
One.
one. When two become one. My name is Shanice Layla Bogle. And who am I? What do I do? I'm a trauma and relationship specialist, trauma healing, recovery, relationship specialist. I absolutely love helping people to heal after childhood trauma, especially women, so that they can function well in relationships, in marriages. And it is not just what I do because I have studied, but it's because I've lived it.
Amen.
And our relationship suffered greatly because of things that were not dealt with, things that were not processed, hurts that were not healed. And so that is why we serve that way. Alongside me or beside me is no other than the co-host.
Yes, 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 yes. Blessings, everybody. My name is Anthony
Blessings.
Bogle. I'm a relationship, marriage and relationship speaker.
Yes.
And it's a blessing to be here, guys.
Amen.
Bless up on yourself.
All
Bless up on
right.
yourself. Bless up on yourself.
All set?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, welcome to our new subscribers. As you know, we always have to give you a round of applause. No clap for them tonight. Welcome, welcome. And we want to just say hello to our day ones. Not the new subscribers now, but the day ones. Welcome back. You've always held it down with us, and we're so grateful that you are here tonight with us again. As you come in, go ahead and share. Do not be afraid to say hello. Do not be afraid to drop a chat. This is your community,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes,
This is
yes.
your safe space. Hey,
Safe space.
Samantha.
Blessings,
Hey.
Samantha.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We try, we try, we try.
We tried. But thank you so much, Sam. It's good to see you, girl. It's good to have you on. And we're going to go ahead and talk. This is not just for people who are having sex in marriage, but this is also for people who want to get married and who want to ensure that before they get into their marriage or relationships for marriages, they are whole in a certain way and they understand fully what makes someone or something, a union, sexually safe. Because, when I first heard of that, I thought STDs and HIV and all these things. And it's not that it's not linked, but it's not just that. There's another big aspect of it. So as you guys come in, please go ahead and share the live, at least one person, at least one contact, and like the video. Hit the thumbs up. What I say? Double tap the screen.
Double tap.
Double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap the screen. And some people would say we're not moving on until. Thanks, nice to see you both too.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
We're not going on until I double tap the screen. We're joking. We will move on. But thank you guys so much for coming on. It feels like a while, but we were out Thursday, because
Yes.
guys, we're planning, we're planning and preparing for the seminar and for greater, better lives that are relatable to you guys and what you need. And so tonight we're talking about sexual safety in marriage. Sexual safety. What is sexual safety?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh
What's
my
that?
God! I do believe, as you said, when you heard about the topic, The first thought that came to you, was,
STD.
those transmitted diseases and
Yeah,
all kind of
yeah,
stuff. But as you said, it's way deeper than that.
yeah,
And it's something that a lot of couples really don't talk about.
yes,
Not just on the aspect of not talking about it, but also not they're not knowledgeable.
yeah,
It's not something that will fall on the forefront of your mind and say, "Oh my God, I am not feeling safe in this era," or
yeah,
I'm not, you know,
mm-hmm.
there like
Yeah,
mentally, emotionally. Um, but for me, in a nutshell, personally, is it's showing up in your capacity
yeah,
in an era, well, whatever capacity that you show up in your marriage, in your relationship,
yeah,
you're feeling safe. You're heard, you're validated. And let's say from a personal experience,
yeah,
uh, I remember, just on the aspect of, growing up and you're watching porn, and
yeah,
so you form your own mindset of what this is
yeah,
or how you should show up. You see the man doing his thing and he's just, getting on and and
yeah,
so you form this whole mindset. And then not only that, just hearing persons, especially, being
yeah,
Jamaican, you talk about daggering and you talk about,
slam bam,
yeah, you talk about,
slam bam.
you're
Thank
gonna
you, ma'am.
beat it, you're gonna do this and you're gonna
Yes,
do that. So you form your
yeah,
own, mindset on what that looks like in an intimate space.
yeah,
And so just getting in a marriage, you bring that also,
it's true.
that you have to show up 100%. You have to make sure,
Yeah,
so she's doing this and she's screaming and hollering.
and
And
oh, the woman crying.
yes,
Yeah, she feeling it.
yes, and so you feel like you have to show up that way
Yeah,
to feel like a man, to feel like you're accomplishing something.
yeah,
But for
yeah,
us, I would say, for me personally, knowing my marriage, my safe space is knowing that I don't have to be that way. I
yeah,
don't have to feel like I have to show up 100% all the time. Why? Because and I don't, guys. It's for, whoever it will. If your relationship
yeah.
is like this, I feel like it doesn't take a lot to please you as a woman.
Or like Mimi, or females
Yeah, yeah,
overall.
yeah. I'm just giving a synopsis of what
Also
does that
me.
look like. Yeah, like
Oh,
you.
Mimi.
You're
Okay.
you're not a person that demands, like, I feel like I have to.
Clam chandelier.
Yeah, like, and so that for me personally is safety. That's what
That's
safety
safety.
looks like.
Okay. I like that where you say I like the part about I don't know if you use the word consent, but it was more like showing up for you and showing up for the other, something like that. It does attach to what I think about it as well, sexual safety, in terms of like this can look like a lot, but it's really basically the practices and behaviors that ensure
Yes.
the person is emotionally safe, or feeling seen, heard, validated. And it also is the stage that is set before and during intimacy, intercourse.
Definitely.
There is a notion where, like you talk about the daggering and the beat it, the man think you must beat it to get it, to get the woman must be audible, to show that, hey, this is me putting in the work. And a lot of times spouses, I'm not going to say wives alone, but spouses are not saying what they truly want to say. A lot of spouses are not, and a lot of voices are not heard, because sometimes we don't want to disrupt the flow. We want to keep the peace, and we want it to seem like we are fulfilling that cultural role. We're doing the thing. It reminds me also of how many times, especially on the part of females, that we will play dead. We will just lay there, or we will not be so proactive, because culture is the man does the work. And culture says, and what we've watched on TV and what we grew up to learn, is that the man does the work. And so, not much of the woman goes after the man, or initiates or start up the steaming process. A lot of times the men get neglected along the way, because it's not that people are necessarily bad, but are programmed a certain way.
Yes, that's
If
it.
it's not like trauma, childhood stuff, imprints, then really you find it's a programming, it's an imprint, and it can also be religiously
Mm,
impacted or religiously programmed. It's a programming. So I feel like sex or coloring, like the cuffs would say, that safety starts with yourself. If I'm gonna speak also from my perspective, a lot of times when I did not, because the truth is, guys, he asked me this question. I think you asked me what is sexual safety to me, or if I
yes.
felt safe in sex.
Yeah. What is sexual safety to
Yeah,
you?
when
Yeah.
he asked me that, I was a bit taken aback because I never thought about it. And this is a topic that you think that okay, I teach on. I talk to couples about it in counseling, in coaching sessions. And I never really stopped to think about it in that aspect. But I know I understood what it means to be safe. And so a lot of times we want to be safe emotionally, but we don't necessarily put in the deliberate work for sexual safety. And so when he asked me that, I could not necessarily give an answer. So
Yes.
I said to him, "You tell me what that is," because I just didn't get it.
Yes.
And I realized that, oh my gosh, a lot of this has to do with how I feel first in myself. I hear females, or I've heard females talk about being getting into intercourse with their spouse with a dress on because they don't feel safe in their own bodies. And so they don't say this to their spouses or their spouse, but they think it and they feel it, and
Mm,
it is coming out in how you are doing the do in the
yes.
bedroom.
Yes.
And so the safety, I think, starts on the inside
Personally,
first.
yes.
It's personal because you'll have a couple or a spouse who is doing and trying, and then on the other end, there is not much giving back or reciprocating. And what is the reason for that? This safety must be embodied. We talk about this in counseling a lot, the embodiment of a secure attachment with yourself first. And this could also mean things like you're stressed, you're overworked, you're tired. The attachment bond in this regard is with yourself first, because you know why you are not showing up like you should. You know. So it looks different.
I like that. I really like how you put it.
Okay.
I must say also that, and we always talk about, safety. We talk about creating a safe space. We talk about, how you talk to, your spouse,
Yeah.
how you, just how you come off as a, let's say, as a man. How do we show up in these capacity when it comes to, how does your spouse, whenever she's talking, how do you relate to her? Do you validate how she feels? And this points down to that road of emotional safety, because again, guys, females, as we know,
Yeah.
men, as females are emotional beings. And so a lot of times as men, we, it's almost like, let's say, we neglect, or we really don't validate, or
Yeah.
even try to understand how does a woman how a woman really functions.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? How does
Yeah.
a woman function? Does it? It's not like us as men. It doesn't take anything to get us started. But for a woman, it's about taking your time. It's about, how you speak to her. It's
Yeah.
about validating her thoughts and her feelings. And that is why even the last time I was on, we were talking about expressing yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a lot of women, they have lost their voice. And again, when I mention losing your voice, it's really how you feel
Yeah.
when you express yourself. How do you feel when you show up in different capacities and your voice is not heard?
Yeah.
You might be with a partner that is just hardcore, stone cold Steve Austin, that no matter what you bring across the board, it is shut down. You know, no matter what you say, you know, it might be laughed at or it's not validated, it's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's not taken in a high regard. And so it does something to to your emotions. It does
Yeah.
something to how you show up as a woman in your femininity.
Yeah.
And even though, you know, we understand that not a lot of women, you know how to walk in their femininity,
It's
but I
true.
do get also that a lot of women are cut off from even, you know, getting to that place where they can.
Yeah.
And it starts with the person that they are with, the husband that they're with. Do they feel comfortable in being so affectionate
Yeah.
and so
Yeah. Yeah.
vulnerable? You get what I'm
Open and
and
authentic.
yeah, and
Yeah.
authentic. And so you have a lot of women that are just performing, as you were just talking
Yeah.
about.
Locked away.
Yeah, they're just performing because they have the mindset and the notion that, listen, a man um does the work and you
Yeah.
just lay there and, you know, just give it up. You get what I'm saying? And so because of that imprint and that mindset,
Yeah.
you know, especially before you get into marriage, you have women that um even in their past, the mindset of just laying there and just get it over with type of stuff. They haven't really getting a chance to
Enjoy.
embrace and to enjoy.
And take the wheel.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, and take the wheel because it's like their mindset, yeah, and how they were programmed is
Yep.
just lay there and take it and he will just do the work and you know and get it over with.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, guys? So for a lot of couples in relationship, in a marriage,
Yeah.
that is something that, you know, we fall short on a lot of times because of lack of understanding and knowing really what floats. I have heard the term sexual trauma, meaning when a
Arteria.
spouse cheats on another, as a real spouse never wants to have sexual intercourse. Exactly.
Yeah. Unless they go to therapy.
Yeah, you know, so there's so many different reasons that might
Yeah.
cause a spouse to, you know, be locked away or just not really open to enjoying and just diving in this beautiful thing called
Free. Them not free.
yeah, called
Yeah.
called sex.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You hear
Yep.
what I'm saying, guys?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know that, and that's a great point, Samantha, where whenever there is something like unfaithfulness, infidelity, that takes away the safety, the emotional safety. And so a lot of times people would want to go on big and bad and bold in the bedroom, but they don't trust it. And so I know that if I don't trust something, I'm not showing my true self. I'm not showing what I can do full way. I may give you a little 10%, but I'm not, or 40, 50%, but I'm not going to give you everything because I fear it will be trampled on. I fear it's going to be disregarded and I'm going to be hurt again. And I don't want that. So why give it? Because it's not held in a sacred place. So safety looks different. It has a lot of faces in marriage, especially sexual safety, one of which we're going to go into. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts of safety around sex in marriage. And one, we want to look at consent. A lot of times there is the idea that, oh, she's okay with what I'm doing, or he's okay with what I'm asking her to do, but is this in counseling we call it the wheel of consent? Are you giving or is it being taken from you? And sometimes because nobody stopped you in the moment, you perceive that okay, I gave it. But truly, if you are not enjoying it, you didn't give it.
Yes.
You didn't give it because psychologically giving is consent, and you're just probably going along with things, but truly you did not give the permission to be a part of this in terms of pleasure. You're not enjoying it. You're just going along so that you are keeping the peace in your house. Because there are a lot of people, there's a lot of spouses who would say, if I don't do it, then it opens conversations for things like, oh, I'm going out there, or I'm going to
Yes.
get it elsewhere, or good night, everyone. It
Like
feels
years
like,
haven't been.
girl, you missed us a few sessions.
Hi Fiona, big up.
Hey.
Yes.
But yes, there are some spouses who say, I don't want to leave that space open because it may introduce them saying, you don't want to do that? Okay, I know other people would want to do
Yes.
it, you know?
Yes.
So they don't want to go down that road, so they just do it. So consent, both must be convicted of the practices and both must want to do it. And so if both do not want to do it, there must be a conversation. Okay, where's the compromise? Where's the middle ground? What can we do differently? The next one is pacing. Sexual safety has a face of pacing. There are some people who move very fast.
What
They
do you mean
move
like
very fast during
what?
the
Oh, you
intercourse.
just want
Like
to get it
you
over
just
with.
want you just move. You know, like we
Yes.
said, daggering. Like
Yes. Yes.
they don't have no chill. Like
Yes.
there is no enjoyment, love making. It's just a lot of slam bam, and sometimes poor spouses don't want to say anything because again they don't want to cause no problem, or probably the person just know baby don't know better, and then you know don't maybe feel comfortable going to teach that person how to slow it down.
Yes.
You probably don't want to. Some people feel a bit embarrassed to use words during sex like slow down, not right there, right there. Like some people don't really feel comfortable, and that is why I strongly believe that sexual safety starts in you. Safety starts in me as an individual. How safe do I feel in me to advocate for myself? I have to be the one to advocate for myself. And a lot of times I'll be silent and my husband will have to ask. And that is not fair because I am putting it over on him to think for him and me. And that's not right.
That's
A
not
lot
right.
of people are going to be so disappointed in what sex looks like
Yes.
because the voice is not there. Slam bam. I have to choose slam bam. All right, so the next version of the pacing is some people slow bad. Some people move very slow in intercourse. Like sometimes you probably say, all right, we're going to for let's use an example. We're going to switch over. We're going to change style, or we don't want you to flag
But
us.
let's but I don't want to pause. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
But while I do understand where fast is concerned, for me personally, I feel like sex is an art.
Yeah.
And when you talk about an art, it's really putting in the work.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Paying attention to details. Nobody just, unless we're there talking about abstract art. But
Abstract
we
art.
just slap on something.
Don't it?
But even in
Creativity.
abstract, even doing abstract art though, you really have to do some fine print when it comes
Yeah,
to
yeah. It's still a
to
style.
details. You get what I'm saying? So I do feel like sex is an art,
Yes.
and it's not to be rushed. And even if let's say we're gonna rush, you have to have valid reasons. Okay, we are work in the
Yeah,
morning, so
yeah.
let us do.
Yeah,
But
wink,
it should
wink.
not be something that is all the time.
Right,
And
right.
that is where a lot of persons are programmed. They feel like we just need to get it over with. Start, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's an art.
Yeah.
And it's something that you have to just take your time and just savor the moment.
Savor
and,
the moment.
just enjoy the pace of just enjoying that
Get
person.
to know each
Yeah,
other.
and it if you're going to rush it, it shows where you are and the knowledge that you have, or the programming that you have,
Yeah.
when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
And I like the point that you made also, when it comes to persons that are just pretty much showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, cruise.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Cruise it.
Yeah, showing up. It's really how you feel as an individual
Yeah.
when it comes to, I lose my, it's not good to read.
That's why I tell you, leave a comment. Let me read it while you talk. Leave a comment.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
but it
oh
will
my
come
God.
back. It will come
Yeah,
back.
Yeah,
You-
well, it's a very important, what was I going to say again? It was really an important,
I don't remember. You're talking about the pacing.
no, you said that before. But keep going. It will come
Okay.
back. It will come back.
All right, so the next one is I was talking about the slow version where taking forever to assume certain I don't say positions, but assuming certain roles where probably in my first or first couple years of marriage, Sometimes my husband used to tell me, read the room. Read the room because I'm probably not so alert. And probably he's trying to say or use cues, or he's not necessarily saying it, but for me, like, tell me explicitly.
It's an art.
I don't want to read no room.
It's
Like,
an art.
tell me what you want me to do. Like,
It's
what
an
are you
art.
saying?
It's an art.
But it's an art for real. You can't just depend on just words. Sometimes it's how he sounds, and then say, all right, this should be done that way, because you know the person, like you study the person. And so I feel like it's not fair for real, especially on men, when a lot of times females, that we would just put a lot into like makeup and looking good, and we study those things, and we study especially like me, I like to diet, I like to do diet plans and lose weight and look nice and whatever. But when last me took up a book about marriage and men and them something there, we have to like really be deliberate about how we treat our spouses, how we study the things of love, because we were not born with these information. We have to put them, you have to deposit. And so when we deposit well, that is what we're going to cash out. We have to study and practice and make it something that is priority, just like everything else. So the other one is command and control versus collapse and submit. Now, command and control, some people don't like to be commanded and bullied, quote unquote, led and bullied in the bedroom. Some people don't like that.
Yes, yes.
And so for some, if you do that, excuse me, that is going to be the ripple effect. They're going to collapse and submit. And so command and control pulls with it collapse and submit. So if that is the nature of your spouse, say it to them, because again, you advocate for yourself. If it's an art, you're not going to know everything through speech. Some things you're gonna have to look at how it complements each other. Look at how this radiation is glowing and bouncing off that. It's going to be something that you have to study and practice and try again and redo and second draft and first draft. So look out for that. Another phase is the emotionally healthy. With sexual safety, a big part of it is emotional maturity. And like my husband said earlier, if you are not in control of your emotional state, you're going to spill this over on the next person. And a lot of times it's going to be about me, fulfilling what I want, me, my needs, because that's what the TV show you. That's what porn show you. That's what romance movies, romance books told you. And it's not true. Sex is work.
Yes.
Intimacy is work. Emotional safety is work. And so the work must be put in. And the other side of that is, a lot of times people may not want to be accountable. Why not? Because when you are accountable, it means that you have to take responsibility for what is not going on well. And when you take accountability and responsibility, it means you'll have to change. And so if you admit to it, you're admitting to the fact that there is work for me to do. And a lot of times people they're not ready to betray their comfort zone. And so what happens next? They point the blame or the challenge on the other person. Oh, you need to do this. You need to do that. Why? Because this is a save face and save time. You're actually buying time. And this is something we see in counseling a lot, where sometimes people are not ready to heal. Sometimes people are not ready to undo certain things and get into the gutters of their own healing. So what they do, there are a lot of excuses made that it's them, but it's because they're not ready to change. And the change is going to be, maybe it's going to call them out of their comfort zone. Maybe they're bombarded with a lot to do and they're just not ready to change. They're not ready to put in that work. So it's hard for them. And that emotionally healthy space is now being threatened.
Yes.
Because the truth is, you don't deal with no robot. Like, you're not with a robot. So, how long, be fair, how long, especially Christian spouses, how long can you keep up the shenanigans and still have a spouse who is locked in? We're not even talking about infidelity because, yes, we don't support that.
Yes.
But we're not even talking about that. How long can this be kept up? And this person is still locked in and zoned in with you. When we used to experience that, and my husband said, "Oh, because I'm a more colder person, because of what I've been through in my past, I'm colder than him. He's more the in love with love type. He's very affectionate. He's very, he's manly, yes, guys. I'm not saying feminine, not feminine, but he's manly, but I'm more stern and cold, and I don't show expressions so easily.
So why did you have to say I'm not
Because
feminine?
a lot of females and a lot of people feel like when man in touch with their
Emotional
emotional
side.
side, it means weakness, or so we have to debunk those foolishness. So it was harder for me to actually check into that side, and so that part of me would give a lot of excuses. I just wasn't ready. It was uncomfortable. I felt foolish. And it was a lot of work. And so, to preserve the health of a relationship, it has to be done. It has to be deliberate too. It can't be something that we just, okay, think it's going to come
Yeah.
along the way
Yes.
and just say, listen, you're a man, you need to learn how to wallet and you need to learn how to wait until I'm ready to come around. Then you must just be there waiting on me. And though we expect that and we know that and that's true, but if he's not checked out physically, he's going to be checked out mentally, and he may never come to you again
Ah.
or after a long while. And you're going to be there wondering, why is he not doing certain things that he used to do? Why is he not approaching me like he used to approach me? Why is it that now we're laying down and we're talking and him not make no move? And you start fret and
Read
you
the
start
room.
wonder,
Read the room.
read the room. Or she's the one who's constantly begging and pushing and coming into your space, and you're there and you just, you're not the type of person. And that may be true.
Yes.
That may be true. You're not the type.
I do feel like also, just to add to whatever it is, all it takes, guys, is a conversation. A lot of times, we think that the person can read our minds. When all it takes is a conversation. Why, baby, I'm tired, and I get it. As I said, when it comes to a man, especially when we're talking about marriage,
Yeah.
if we're wired a certain type of way, we will say, listen, your body is mine, and I used to, used to say that a lot of
Yeah.
times jokingly though, because I do understand. But I feel like, sometimes we're wired a certain type of way where you feel like, okay, no matter how you feel, no matter how tired you claim, say you be, or you're genuinely
Yeah.
are, just open your legs and give it up. But at the end of the day, especially for me, if my wife is not there mentally and emotionally,
Yeah.
I cannot
Enjoy it.
I cannot enjoy it. That's just me personally.
Okay.
For some though, for some men,
They're not business. They
they're
want
not business, lay down and I will do it. But at the end of the day, I guarantee not a lot of women enjoy that. That feels like torture. And so you have to be careful on how you approach this aspect when it comes to just being vocal or just verbalize or just
Yeah.
just express how you feel. Hey babe, and hoping that he does understand. I feel like also the danger that I want to just to add to this whole conversation about men and our thought process, especially if we are programmed a certain way. I spoke about being programmed,
Yeah.
how we are programmed, not all of us were born in the church and virgins, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Just being in a space where you have been with multiple people and they do things a certain type of way.
Yeah.
You understand? They kiss a certain type of way, they touch
Yeah.
a certain type of way. They always seem to want it. As they roll over, them want it.
Yeah.
They initiate it more.
Yeah. Yep.
As the man, you don't even have to stress about initiating anything. You know,
Yeah.
they
Have
hey,
a lot.
they either they touch you and let you know, listen, and then you get married to a woman that
Frigid. Cool.
and I don't even want to say cold, but
Yeah.
not seeing the importance of initiating it, not seeing it, the importance of really expressing,
Yeah.
not seeing the importance of just being open and vulnerable
Yeah.
when it comes to just you know, not just laying down,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just laying down, but she's being vocal.
Yeah.
She's making noise
She's
and
proactive.
yeah, you talk about reading the room. She's setting in a certain
In
position.
sync. Yeah.
Yeah, we just a flow. And that's what you expect
Yeah.
coming into a marriage. That is what
That's the word right
that is
there.
what
Expectation.
you're expecting. You get what I'm saying? As a man, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
Having the conversation. It's almost like we talk about a baby. You're going down to a baby stage where you're now creating this space for you and your partner.
Yeah.
Having the conversation, because marriage for me really unwind. We talk about unbecoming,
Yeah.
to become, to be. And for a lot of person that might not understand what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
a lot of times, especially getting into a marriage, you're coming out of the world and you're getting into a marriage that you have these thought process of how it should be
Yeah.
and not the reality. It forces you now to unbecome, meaning that you now have to strip yourself of your thought process.
Yeah.
All the wiring and the programming that you had growing up and watching on TV and what your friend tell you, you now have to now deconstruct, you now have to now put aside all of that, and now it's like you're a brand new man stepping into something where you're saying, okay,
Yeah.
what is this? Learning how to read your partner, learning how to have conversation, learning how to say okay and understand and
I hear no.
yeah, and if she said no, you can say okay, this is who she is.
It's not easy.
That's a part of creating a safe space for your partner. And then you might talk to her about things that you might like and how you might like, and being open to hear how she relates to that, and if she likes it and if she does not like it.
Yeah.
That's creating a safe space. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of us, especially as men, is really in the unbecoming.
Yeah.
Shedding all of those programmings that we had. We had some girlfriends in the past that them know for dash it and flash it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say, hey, she ready. You get what I'm saying? So that is something I had to learn in my marriage, that bro, it is not what you think. You are going to, you might meet somebody that, hey, she's just a different person.
Yes.
It's about learning the person, understanding the person, taking time to nurture that person, and giving that person that safe space to become. You understand? Because she might have some programming also.
Oh yeah,
Church,
always that.
yeah, church. Let us even say, because you're, let's say you grew up in the church, you might have church programming that listen.
Yep.
You hear say it have to be this way when you get an understanding. Okay, it's not that serious. You don't have to.
Yeah.
And create that whole world for you and your partner.
Yep.
So you have to be patient.
A lot of patience.
You understand and realize that before you get to the slam bam type thing, there has to be a space created when we talk about emotional safety for you and your partner, where she's validated, she's heard, all of that type of stuff before you get to that aspect when it comes to the sex and
the intercourse.
The intercourse aspect.
Awesome. Beautiful points. Beautiful points. There's so many great things that you said.
Like the live guys.
He's throwing that in there. Another one. So sexual safety also looks like mutual respect. And I know he touched on that. Discussions of boundaries and the things that you would want to try, things that you don't want to try. And actually learning how to be settled in hearing, no, I don't want to try that. If you are not at that stage where you can hear that, and one of your greatest dreams is to try certain things, and then you go get married and your spouse said no, that's not in their book. How do you deal with that? It is being okay with hearing no and understand that I made my choice and I'll have to compromise. It is a no, it's a no. Or you hear a yes and they'd want to try. How do you find the middle ground of one saying yes but the other one saying no? How do you come up with that gray area of what's safe for you both? It always must end with both feeling respected and in the middle of the consent. It's not one person holding on to the
Yes.
consent and the other one is just going along. Both must come to an agreement and both must feel respected along the way. The next one is healthy bodies. Sexual safety has a lot to also do with how you're treating yourself. A lot of times we don't feel in the mood because the last thing you checked on what you ate is a lot of sugar. It's a lot of this, a lot of that, the sodium and the carbs and whatever. A big part of how we feel together is what you put in your body, is what we put in our bodies. And so many times we overlook this part where we are not doing our bodies justice to carry out intercourse in the beautiful art and artistic way as it should be. Sometimes we feel sluggish and we feel luggish and we're tired more than what we're supposed to tired.
Yes.
Because if we really stop to look at it, even though this is not popular, a lot of people don't talk about what you're putting in your body, how you're treating your body. Are you exercising? Are you drinking much water? Because you have to be healthy to have great coloring. Has to be. And so the other one is sexual safety looks like creating and cultivating and being confident and secure in your sexuality. This is a big one, especially for a lot of females. What is sexy to you? When I was growing up in church, I hear a lot, we don't use the word sexy.
Wow.
And that could be, there's a reason for that. I get it. Well, how do you show up? He asked me that one time, like, how do you create a sexuality? I'm like, I don't even like perfume like that. But he
Yes.
loves smells and scents. Right now,
Yes.
I have a whole collection of perfume because he loves scent. I don't care for it. I wear it because he likes it. And then over time, I get to like them too. So now it's like almost having an identity, or a part of your identity is zoning in on the things that make you smell good, look good, feel good in yourself. Because when you do that, you're not just doing it for them, you're also doing it for you. You feel great. And so when I smell good, I feel better. When I dress well, I feel better. When I'm in the house and my ear muddy muddy and raggy raggy, it's not that we're saying don't be authentic. There's a time and place for it. But I cannot do that every single time. Because what do you leave your spouse to desire or
Yes.
pine after? Especially Christian females, wives. I don't want to sound like I'm bashing, but I'm speaking from the place where I've lived, not
Yes.
geographically,
Yes.
but where I'm coming from. Like a lot of saved women, a lot of saved wives. Wives, if you're online and you're saved and you have a husband, you can attest to it that sometimes we don't create a sexuality. We're not comfortable in our own skins. We don't necessarily take the time to identify a scent, a fragrance that he likes, and keep buying that one and you spray a little overall when you go into your bed and you put on something nice looking. I mean, like, it's not all about that.
Yes.
But every now and again, appeal to the man visual
Hallelujah.
and appeal to his nasal and appeal to his palate. Like put something that can, even if he kisses it, like it not poison him, because it can go on your mouth, or so
I like that. I love
I'm
what.
trying to not let YouTube's.
Oh no no.
But we really have to be comfortable in how. The other big thing is tone. Tone is one of the most pleasant, pleasurable things in a woman. Your tone. And so, even how you carry yourself, if you're slow and sluggish, and you're not very what's the word? You don't move with a sense of purpose and agility. Some men are turned off. Some men are turned off by, sometimes there's this, pacing that they just can't work with. And some who are bossy and aggressive and fast paced also turn off some men. And it goes vice versa. If you're a male and I'm a female, yes, I'm a female, but guess what? If you are too pace women alike, there is no desire. So it clashes with the sexual safety. And I really hope that people are looking into how am I showing up? Am I just presenting anything in my marriage and I just say, all right, we're married already? Or him just have to accept me or she just has to accept me? No, it doesn't work like that. It's not fair to your spouse. Because let me tell you why it's not fair. They chose you and you for a
For a
lifetime.
lifetime.
So which part else the man are gonna find pleasure?
Ah,
Where else is the woman going to find pleasure if it's not you? So be to him what his eyes need to see, what his nose need to smell, what his mouth needs to taste, what his ears need to hear, what his skin needs to feel. Be to
look at you.
look at
Look at
you.
you saying all the right things.
All the right things, right?
Yes, yes. Look at you.
I'm saying all the right
saying
things.
all the right things.
But be to him what he needs to bask in, because
God.
him already married you and he can't go anywhere else, and she already married you, sir, and she can't go anywhere else. So please be to her what she needs you to be in that beautiful space of intimacy and intercourse.
My God. I just want to touch on something that you said. You mentioned identity. Guys, especially ladies, a man loves a woman that has an identity. And I hope I'm breaking this down the right way. When I said identity, as you were, rightly saying, do you have a sense? Because a lot of times you might meet somebody
Sensual.
that is just, and let us use when I said about, my safety with you on a whole. You might meet a person that,
I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
what am I going to say?
Boring.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, coming up boring.
No, no, what, no, what what you had to say? What you had to say?
I'm not
saying,
boring.
no, I'm not saying that you're boring, baby.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that you can just be okay with whatever.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? You can be, and that's how it was in the beginning
Yeah.
of our marriage.
Yeah.
You just work with whatever. You understand? You just work with whatever comes. You just work with it.
Yep.
And so what
Easy
that,
going.
yeah, what that does is that you are not bringing something different. You're not bringing something unique to
Yeah.
the table, right? And
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say a man can go back in his mind and he can remember and pinpoint. Let's say a man that has been sexually active before he got saved, or whatever it is, a man on
Yeah.
a whole that has been in multiple relationships. He can pinpoint one or two or three relationships that something stands out about this woman.
True.
And even if we're gonna push, the regular stuff outside, when I mean like, oh, she like sweetie, she like this, but especially in the bedroom,
Also, something about each person.
there's
that
something about this,
stands out.
that woman that stands out. What stands out about you as a woman when it comes to, if you were talking
Wow,
about
that's
your
a good question.
yeah, your scent, the scent that you choose, or when you smell him, no say you that. You get what I'm saying? A man
That
is
important.
yeah, a man is keen in that, especially a man that likes to smell good. I like to smell good.
Yep.
So once my pass, no matter if 1,000 miles away, you can be like,
Can
okay,
smell
wow, that
him.
my husband sprayed
Yep.
that. What is your identity?
Key things about you.
You understand?
Yeah.
Other thing is, how selfish are you? My God.
My God. Selfish.
A man likes a woman that is selfish. And I'm going to break that
Yeah,
down.
what that mean?
I'm talking about selfish. Selfish
that
in
mean?
the bedroom, guys.
Oh.
When you're selfish, it's almost like putting out there what you like.
Okay.
and wanting that man
To do it.
to fulfill that desire.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
now putting what you want out there,
Yeah.
and you're saying, listen, I want this. How you like it, how you want it. You get what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
is the vibe and the whole well, they say you don't like when I use that word. But that's
Wow.
yeah,
Which word?
leave that alone. You know the whole
Okay.
vibe that you're putting out there. A man likes that.
That's right. Is that true, ladies?
Because again, you know, sometimes a lot of times you have women that are programmed to say the man has to do the work and the man has to do that. Sometimes you have to take over
It's true.
without
Absolutely.
that man saying listen, and you're doing that because not just to please the man, but there are positions that you like on a whole.
Yeah.
There are things that you like on a whole.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You hear what I'm saying? So you're showing that person that listen, I am about this. This is me. This is what I like. This is how I like it, and you're being vocal about it.
Yes. Yep.
But a lot of times, you know, and this is my personal thought.
Yes.
Females really don't take the time to say, okay,
To study this book.
yeah, does he want me to do this? Like I am going to shock him, in a sense. I'm going to shock him. I'm going to blow his mind.
True.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
blow his mind. So it's not about he must say, set away your babe and go that way your babe and do this away your babe, and he's laying there and he's just looking at you. You don't know whether to go left or to go right.
Yep.
You don't
True.
know whether to do this or to do that or to change this and to change that.
Yes.
Because, and I don't want to get too much into it, but
Don't
just,
get too rude now.
yeah, just to say, the person, your husband is doing something, and you are just there, just taking it.
Just
And he's
taking
thinking that okay, I am really doing it. I am making sure that
Yes.
she's good and she's okay and she like this, but you don't like it,
It's true.
and you're not vocal about it.
It's true.
You understand what I say? So,
Yep.
what is your identity when it comes to the bedroom? What is your
Yep.
identity when it comes to your love language?
Intimacy. Yeah.
In the whole aspect of being intimate.
Yes.
What is your identity? What do you like? What color lingerie you like? What type of perfume do you like? Do you like to do this? Do you like to do that? Like,
Kind of
what is your
lotion, skincare.
identity when it comes? Yeah, when it
Yes.
comes to
Music. No music.
yeah.
Yes, that is so important. Guys, what's your identity? Are you sensual and confident in being sexual? Because, you know, they're in the tips that I'm going to give. I don't know if you have anything else you want to share before I go to the tips. If you're in a relationship and you're just not feeling your spouse, you just don't feel them, or you have shared and they're not really making much progress, you're not seeing it, there's not much validation, there's not much acknowledgement, there are some tips that I want to share. We want to leave with you. One is to really understand that healthy pleasure starts with you. Healthy pleasure starts with you, the self. It starts with me, it starts with him, it starts with all of us individually. We have to understand that what we have holds potency for the marriage to move into a space where it's safe, emotionally, intimate wise, intercourse, sexually wise. It has to really go through the stages of learning what is healthy pleasure with self and with a spouse, a partner. Healthy pleasure looks like taking care of your body, smelling well, so that you in turn can appeal to the partner. There are some communities I was looking up the other day where they teach their women how to do this from they are kids. And so by the time a woman gets older and she gets married, this woman knows how to move. She knows how to walk. She knows how to talk. She knows how to show up at home. She knows. And then you have some communities like, or community, especially if you were Jamaican, you grow up a little more rougher. And you grow up a little more sterner because life's experiences they've hardened you a certain way.
Yes, yes.
They have hardened you. A lot of us did not grow with one of the spouse, mainly the father. And so a female grows up a lot behaving or giving macho tendency. because there is not much male role model to say, hey, I got you. So she have to, hey, I got myself. I have myself. So that is one thing to really look into. The
Yes.
other thing is dare to rock the boat. Don't sit there in your marriage and not rock the boat. Dare to rock the boat. What does this look like? Upset the status quo. It can't stay the same. You advocate for yourself. You have to speak and say what you like, what you don't like, what you've noticed, what you have seen, what you don't agree with, what you'd like to see do or be done a different way or done better. You have
Yes.
to be the one to advocate because your spouse can't read your mind. And on the other side, when this is shared spouses, when this is shared husbands or wives, please listen, validate, and act upon it. Don't just listen and then you file it off in another aisle where it's lost and the memory's gone. Please listen and validate and then act upon it. A lot of times we take this information too personal and so we miss out on the beautiful moment of bonding with your partner. So listen for information. Listen for information. And if you feel or find that you're getting too offended, probably it's time to outsource some emotional help for yourself or emotional support. The next one is after you're doing that, put in deliberate work. No autopilot in marriage anymore.
Yes.
In your marriage, put in deliberate work. If you plan your week's activity at work, what have you planned for your me time, sexy time with you and your spouse? What have you planned?
Amen. Amen.
When last have you ordered a book on Amazon that spoke about attachment styles, healthy pleasure, how to be a wife, how to be a husband? When last have you gone out and done that? When last have you signed up for a free course?
Amen.
When last have you signed up for coaching
Yes.
or counseling?
Yes.
When last have you invested in you and your partner? When last y'all went to a restaurant? When last have you gone to a seminar, a workshop, a presentation? Are you growing and learning? Because listen, you're never born with this thing. You were not born with the thing in you to be, oh, I know what to do when I become married. I know that I'm gonna do. No, you have to learn along the way.
Yes.
You have to learn along the way. And so please put in deliberate work. The safety starts within. You enter that marriage, that union from a point where it's in me first. And whatever your spouse is not feeling, sometimes it's them, but a lot of times it's also how we are giving out or not giving out, how the things that we're doing or not doing. And so, number 4, tell the truth about what you like, what you don't like. Consent. Consent is a strong face of sexual safety. If there is not much safety, probably there are some things being done that you did not consent to, or you don't like and you never said it, or you liked but you never shared it, and so your expectations are being trampled on. And when you do share, don't feel badly because you were true to yourself. Feel proud of yourself
Yes.
that you shared. You were true to yourself. You shared. And so, number 5, look at how you are showing up after you have showed out the things that you don't like or you would like to see. Now go back, turn the big finger on me. How am I showing up? How am I showing up? How am I showing up in my bedroom, in my home? How am I showing up before the bedroom? How are you showing up? What are the things that I'm saying? What are the things that I'm doing? What does she know about me? What does he know about me? Do they feel safe with me? Am I a safe space in my own self? The other thing is, am I a safe space to, again, myself in the form of, do I love my own body?
Yes.
Do I love my own face? Can I bear to see and feel confident in how I look? Am I confident in the things that I'm wearing, how I smell, how I behave, my attitude, my tone? Am I a sensual? Like when I think about myself, do I feel like I'm lacking something? Very important, Samantha, because a lot of people don't know how to have sexy time and sensual time with the spouse because, to be honest, they don't really like certain body parts and they are afraid of backing off full blown openness. Some people have to go on that sheet. Sorry. Some people have to go on that sheet. Some people have to, like hide up certain things because they are not comfortable in their own skin.
Yes. And just to
That's the
add it,
truth.
you see, we do have, man, we do have a lot of programmings that we exactly
Turn off the light.
that's exactly where I was going,
Yeah.
Samantha. We our program is when we're doing it. Listen, we're in our room, in our own space, and we are turning off the lights.
Yeah.
And it is something that in our marriage, it got to a point where, um, sad to say, you have so many persons right now, guys, that the only time they know how a vagina and a
Female
penis look
anatomy.
is either they're watching porn where they're seeing it,
Yeah.
pornography. You get what I'm saying? You have persons that are married that really haven't really gotten a chance to see their person's private part like wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Come true.
Because what we're programmed to do is as soon as we get in our space and we're
Yeah.
ready to get there, we turn off the lights.
Yep.
You have some persons they play music. And music, especially, you're playing some soft music or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't really get an opportunity to listen to your partner, to hear their voice and to hear how they breathe.
Breathe. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yep.
You get what I'm
So
saying?
important.
They drown it out with all of this because of their own mindset
It's insecurities
of
sometimes.
insecurity and all of that.
Not all the time, but sometimes it. And if it's not insecurity, it's not being mindful
Yes.
of the fact that those little body
Details,
expressions
those little
are
details.
details for being in sync with each other.
You get what I'm saying? So we turn off the light. So at the end of the day, we are not even seeing the
really
contours of
connect.
our partner's
Yeah.
body, her breast, and all the
Silhouette.
different areas of that person's body. We're not seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're not able to really connect to the person.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm telling you, it's something that is happening. It's a fact. I had to get in my head one day and say, babe, listen, keep the lights on.
Yeah.
I want to see you.
Yep.
I'm able to stare at my wife and see every creases and every corners of my wife's body, and I can say, okay, this is how my wife's body look. Because we just known and we're just programmed to turn the lights off and just get into it, so we don't even see.
Yep. Yep.
That's the sad reality, guys.
Yep. Yeah.
So when you're able to get to that place where you're okay to keep the lights on,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. You're able to keep the lights on and you're not afraid to stare at your partner. You're
Yeah.
looking them, dead in the eyes, and you're really connecting.
Yep. Absolutely.
You're seeing their teeth, if them skin them teeth, yes. You're
Come
seeing their
on, though.
facial expression in that moment that you can look and say, wow, you understand what I'm saying, guys? It's serious.
And wives, use your hands.
Yeah, like,
Use your hands. Like, don't be afraid to touch and you can't be a stranger. It's yours. You can't be a stranger.
no, it's serious. You
It's
get what I'm saying?
yours.
Just to touch your partner and
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? It's
So-
like taboo, especially in the church culture. But I
Yeah.
can't speak for everybody.
Not everybody, because some churches are pretty open.
I don't know what is
Yeah.
going on in people's business.
Yeah.
But it just feels like that. And it comes from really how we were programmed to look at sex on a whole.
Yeah. I remember when I was doing counseling years ago, I believe, or I heard this at a seminar or a session, where I was being told to ensure that I know my spouse by any body part. So if somebody need me to identify him by his toe, you need to know that toe belong to your man. And if somebody needs to identify your wife finger, you need to know that that finger belongs to my woman. So you must be able to identify your partner by any body part. Any one of the body parts, it must not be a shocker to you. Let's stop, because I don't want to disrupt certain church language. So I'll stop right there. All right, and if you want to hear more, come to the seminar. Come to the seminar in May 31st, Terra Nova All Suites Hotel, and we will put the link in the chat where you can register. If you really want to understand some key things, because some things we can't say because of YouTube, and we don't want to be getting any strike. But if you really are serious about your health in terms of emotional wellness, and we're not talking about learning emotional wellness, we're saying pursue, run it down, be aggressive in your singleness and marriage. And even if you suffered a divorce or went through a divorce, unfortunately, you still can pursue this state, because it's a beautiful realm to live in and navigate in. So the last one is, am I vulnerable, open, comfortable in my own skin? Yes, we did talk about that. And so we're going to close out once again with, what is sexual safety? It is the practices and behaviors that we have put in place for emotional and sexual wholeness, vulnerability, before, during, and after our unions or relations with each other. And that first point of entry is the self. Is the self.
I just want to add one last thing before we go. You know, guys, especially men, in a marriage, we have to be patient with our partner. We have to be truly patient with our partner, especially if you have learned a lot. We're talking about things that your partner, have said to you. We're talking about past issues and past situations. And the road that I'm going down, sex looks different for everybody. Intimacy looks different for everybody. And why I'm saying that is that you have persons that have gone through, you know,
interpersonal violation.
You know what I'm talking about? You have wives that have gone through those things in their past. And so it takes a different level of patience. It takes a different level of compassion. It takes a different level
absolutely
of mindset when it comes to really cultivating that safe space. And again, we might be wired a certain way from our past of how we think a person should respond. Because again, guys, you will never truly understand what it looks like when it comes to emotional and sexual connection until you have gotten there. So you might meet somebody, go through the courting phase, and she shares certain things with you, and you hear and you say, yes babe, I'll be there for you, and I understand, and I will love you and care for you. You get what I'm saying? But when you put on the ring and you walk down the aisle and you get there, and now you start to dive in, and you're seeing how she responds, and you're seeing whatever it is, do you have the capacity to nurture that experience?
That side. Yep. It takes a lot.
You get what I'm saying, guys? Do you have that capacity to nurture that side? Do you have that capacity to be patient, to be understanding with that partner?
Yeah.
And again, guys, we can talk about yes and we good because we want to get there. We want to hurry and get married. But when we get married and we get to that place where we're saying, okay, time to do the do.
Yep.
You're going to see a lot of things are just how she might respond to that whole aspect is not what you expect.
Yeah. And that's a great point, because like I shared, when he asked me, why are you so stuck up and stern? And I said to him, it's because we're not married. And when we got married, it was 10 times worse. Because he, sometimes I thought, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was because of church culture why I was like that. But it absolutely wasn't. It was so much deeper. And so if you've even gone through certain things, please ensure that those things are dealt with as best as possible before you get into marriage. And if you can't, and you got married, it's still the right time to start in your marriage. Don't just say it's too late. It's not too late. The moment you hear and the moment you are aware, that's the time you start. Fiona said there is some form of insecurity for females after childbirth.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
Example, not having that Coca bottle
Shape
shape
anymore.
anymore.
Breast
Breast
drop.
pop down and drop down. Listen, show up with your pop down breast, show up with your outer shape size, and if you can do something about it, some people are hormonal in terms of they can't really control the speed of the weight gain and the outer shape and whatever. But if you are not going through that, you're not taking meds, and that's not affecting you, get back to a routine where you can um, start a lifestyle change like an exercise, or how you're eating differently, because sometimes it's easy to get comfortable. I'm not going to lie, especially after my second daughter. The first daughter, I was back in shape. I was so much into dieting and changing the lifestyle. But after the second one, I felt comfortable with how I looked. Yes, Buzzy. Boswell said, just lift up.
And embrace yourself.
Lift up the breast them and embrace yourself. I felt like I embraced me. It didn't care. I didn't care. But for my health, I had to jump back in shape. So
And I just want to add to that, you know, and it's just a sad reality. You have some husbands though that are and I understand, again with my wife, whether she had 3 4 kids, my love for her will never change. Whether she get out of shape or not, the love is still there. But you do have persons, you do have men
it's true.
that are turned off
And express
and
it
they
to
know,
the yeah,
they see that, listen, it is because of
your kids.
your children. You get what I'm saying? It's because of your children why this is happening, and they're turned out. They don't care.
How
And
dare
so,
you?
guys, I don't
How
even
dare
know.
you?
That is the reason why,
Yep.
guys. Especially those. I don't know if no single persons are here, but when you're choosing a partner, OMG,
Listen carefully about how they talk about other people too.
OMG, you have to be careful, guys.
Buzzy.
But the kids
Buzzy said
sometimes is not the
sometimes
problem. Some people just
damn too much
damn too
and
much
eating
and
late
eating
nights.
late
That's
night.
true. Self control may not be there as yet. But it's really how you come off to your spouse. Like, don't say that to them. If you and your spouse have a good relationship, sure. But for some people, they're easily offended, or not easily, but they will be. And it may damage that self esteem some more. And best believe me, when it's time for intimacy, those words are playing in their heads, and they feel it, and they know it, and they sense it, and you will sense that something is wrong, because they're not going to be free flowing with you, especially intercourse wise.
And Buzzy, I do understand where you're coming from. You are persons that let it get
Yeah, out of
out
hand.
of hand. But I am speaking on the aspect of, listen, you just have the kids them and your body is just out of shape. You have men that are just used to a certain figure and not realizing that over time these things change.
Age too.
You get what I'm saying? Whether it's age, whether it's going through the phase of having children, and that is why it's so serious when it comes to understanding the person that you're dealing with. Are they, we call it, superficial? Are they superficial? Do they stress on the physical aspect? Oh
The
my God, your
looks.
body this and your body that, and
Yeah, if they keep glorifying
yeah,
that more.
they're so caught up in looks and things that are just materialistic.
Yep. Yep.
Are they like that? You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we forget the reality that we're gonna get old.
Gravity's coming.
You get what I'm saying? Children come in. I'm not going to, or she's not going to have
Yeah.
that so-called body that
You were
we were
used
used to.
to.
That's what we saw when we just got
And the
got
men
married.
too. Come on, the men as
Then we're gonna have a
well.
little
Pack.
cock and
Listen, enjoy each other, people.
You get what I'm saying,
Enjoy
guys?
your
So be
spouse.
careful how you choose your partner, guys. That's the best I can
Yeah.
tell you. Take time to look at the key things that are important. This is a life partner.
Yes.
We talk about the two most important decisions a person would ever make. Decision to serve God and the decision when it comes to choosing a life partner.
Yes.
Will that person stick it out through the different chances? You know the song say, I love you when your hair turns gray, girl.
Yeah.
I still want you when you gain
Gain
a
a
little
little.
weight.
Yeah. Oh, you said some people don't want to get back in shape, but it's true. You have to love them from the deep, yes. But remember, too, there are some who are attracted to the physical, and that should be respected as well. Very good. That is true, too. Respect that your spouse loved. He's a visual appeal. Like some men like to be appealed to visually, and ladies, we have to respect that. And females,
Yes.
too. Some females, what really gravitate is that macho leader figure where she feels protected with you. If you realize that you are going in the reverse, it's okay to respect that, but also both of you understanding that people are at different stages and the respect still must be there, the love must be there, but still remember that you must appeal to each other. It should be in your effort to at least try and maintain. It may not come back the full best way like it was before, but you are putting in the effort to do something with yourself.
Got you. And oh my God, every time we think about him, there's one more thing I want to add, guys. Especially it's not too late for those that are married. It doesn't look good for a man walking around with a big guy in front of him. Well, that's yeah, that's true, and that's
Phoebe, some women like it.
and that's the point that I'm getting at, guys. A lot of times we cultivate our relationships and we're not exactly can't be like leopard, and we're not incorporating the different aspects of really what keeps our relationship going.
Yeah.
And one of the most potent thing is exercise.
Yeah.
We want to live long. We want to be able to have kids that are healthy. We want to do this.
Yeah.
And we're not incorporating things like exercise in our lives.
That's true.
And a lot of times when we want to do that is when we realize that we gain weight and we look some type of way. Or we get a diagnosis, we find ourselves walk up and down all over the place.
Yeah.
And I run up. You get what I'm saying, guys?
Don't wait.
You have to put that in our lifestyle.
Amen.
We have to put that in our lifestyle, especially with our partner.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with our partner. If we can get each other, both of us on board, and we're working out together. But I feel like it is important when it starts before you get to that place.
That's true.
You use like a programming. You're now programming your mind to say, listen, we want to be a healthy couple.
Yeah.
That we know that
in all areas.
In all areas.
Yeah.
We eat well, even though things, especially what we call organic, is so expensive. But again, guys, we just now got put certain things in our system that we know that will really affect us in the long term.
Run. And it really affect your function and your mental space, the fog, the brain fog. Oh God, Bazzy, for real. Eat well, man.
No energy, like the
sluggish.
food, everything is just off.
Nutrients
But guys, we have to incorporate those things in our marriage.
Absolutely.
So it is easy to move forward.
Enjoy
enjoy our lives. It affects our sex life.
Oh, trust me.
It affects our sex life.
It affects the sex life.
But guys, we're heading out here.
We are heading out. Thank you so much for being on tonight. Please don't forget, if you're Jamaican and you will be in Jamaica in May, on May 31st. We have to be aware of that. Wonderful discussion. God bless you. Thank you, Samantha. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, yes.
For those who have not yet subscribed.
For those who have not yet subscribed. But what I'm trying to say is, please go ahead and click the link in the chat for the form to register for the seminar that's in May, on May 31st, 2025. This year, we are coming to you, Jamaica, for the seminar From Hurt to Healing. And we are teaching you some key points, some potent points and strategies to pursue emotional wellness. I tell you, the Information will blow your mind.
Amen.
It is not just a seminar or an event, it is an experience.
I love that.
It's going to be an experience. And if you leave that seminar the same way, it is your choice. Because I promise you, you will get the right tools to make the choice to do and be different and live differently for the good, for the better. And so that is May 31st. Click the link in the chat. I posted it in the chat. Go ahead and click on that link. Share it with a friend. If you are overseas and you will not be in Jamaica during that time and you'd like to sponsor someone, please go ahead and reach out to us. You can email, you can DM, you can find us on social media, Shanice Leila Bogle, and or you can click on the link and say sponsoring someone and do the necessary. Hey, Basie, great work as usual, guys. Perpetual, you guys are uplifting people's spirit. Continue doing a great job. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, so we are going.
Like the live, guys. Like the live.
Yes, and listen, I just have to say that we are putting in a lot so you can have a real classy, top tier experience, not just the location, but what it comes with. And we ensure that you will be well fed, you will get your little gifts and treats and all these wonderful things. So we will have authors there, we will have expert speakers, experienced speakers that will not only ignite the body, the soul, but the spirit. Amen. As well. So God bless you guys. We will see you on Thursday.
Peace.
Bye-bye.